Dad, thanks for being on the show. I apologize for having to make you travel so far, all the way down to your kitchen to be a part of it. People always ask me who your favorite players growing up. It was always you.
Guys my age, we all love Johnny Unitas. He was a precision passer.
Unitas pinpoints Jimmy Orr to win the game 20-17.
Charlie Connerly, also one of your favorites, being a Mississippi guy.
Yeah, Charlie was from Clarksdale, Mississippi. I was from Drew, 30 miles away. So my dad, we were Giants fans because of Charlie Connerly.
New Orleans Saints select on the first round quarterback Archie Manning, University of Mississippi.
A lot of people talk about the 1983 draft for quarterbacks, but 1971 was the original year of the quarterback. Jim Plunkett, Pastorini, you, Theismann, Lynn Dickey was in that draft.
Kenny Anderson.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah, well, I think it was the first time there were quarterbacks who went 1, 2, 3. The unusual thing about it, the night before the draft, I didn't even know the draft was the next day. And so the PR office at Ole Miss called me and said, you need to come over here in the morning. It's the NFL draft. We've heard from New England. We've heard from Houston. We've heard from New Orleans. One of them's going to pick you, and you need to come over here. Draft started at 9 o'clock, about 9:15. I got a call from the Saints, talked to J.D. Roberts, the head coach, 1-minute conversation, and hung up. They didn't interview you, time you, talk to you, anything. I guess just watched film and picked. An AP writer came in, took my picture, and I went to a 10 o'clock class. So that was my draft day. Far cry from what you and your old brother went through.
A little different between what me and Eli went through.
The Saints had hero Archie Super Manning, and the New Orleans faithful were breathless with anticipation.
My dad was drafted to make the fledgling Saints a franchise, and in his first game against the powerhouse Rams, he had a chance to win as time expired.
On the last play of the game, you told me y'all called timeout before.
Yeah, I had an offensive coordinator named Ken Shipp. We were going back and forth about what we're going to call, and then the referee comes in, let's go. So I'm going back out there. Danny Brammer says, what'd they tell you to call? I said, they never told me. So I kind of called my favorite old college player, kind of a sprint left, and just as I went across the goal line, I fumbled.
Hey, fumble!
But they said I was in.
Damn.
There's some arguing going on down there from the Rams.
Oh, yeah, no, they weren't happy at all.
My dad became the first quarterback to complete 60% of his passes and throw for over 3,000 yards 3 seasons in a row. But even with all his magic,
Manning, chased by Jim Youngblood, throwing for a touchdown.
the Saints were jinxed.
We had a lot of lean years. Every 3 years, we'd fire the coach, and usually during the season, you can't constantly change and build a winner.
You always told me, don't ever take it for granted you get to play in the same system.
Yeah.
By the time his 14-year career ended in Minnesota, my dad had been sacked more than any quarterback in history.
Talked to Mike Ditka on this journey. You played against that famed Bears defense for the Vikings.
There was some. The line coach said they won't bring 8. They won't bring 8.
The eighth rusher, yeah.
Well, they did. They got me 11 times that day. Otis Wilson hit me right up on the chin. I'm on the bottom of the pile. And Otis said, you know, Archie, these guys ain't blocking for you. You ought to lay here and play like you hurt. I was hurt.
Dad, where did the toughness come from? You took sacks, you had a lot of injuries that you didn't even tell the training staff or coaches about.
That's football, and I'm no tougher than anyone else out there. Everybody out there is tough. You know, we didn't have championship teams or even winning teams, but I played with winners. I had some teammates that I'd go to battle with every single day.
After my dad retired, I had to find someone else to root for. This time, it was a quarterback I looked up to from afar. Your favorite player always seems larger than life. And today, in Miami, I'm going to visit mine.
I'm glad to have you, buddy.
My first game, we played against each other.
Yep.
And I'm kind of on the bench and sort of talking to our coaches about the game plan, and y'all had like a 3rd and 18. So I get up, I'm like, they're gonna punt, we're going in. My first series, and he threw this laser on a skinny post.
Yep.
It was one of the most amazing throws I'd ever seen. I was like, whoa, I'm gonna go sit back down. We're not gonna get on the field yet. Let's go right to it. Favorite play, favorite route to throw?
I'm sure yours is. I mean, I like throwing a deep ball, obviously.
There's a shocker.
Yeah, a deep ball.
Marino back to throw. He's going deep. Got a man down there. He's got a touchdown.
I'll say this about your deep ball. You hear a lot of coaches tell these quarterbacks, hey, you got to have a lot of air. I got to have a lot of air. I mean, you were throwing 55-yard, lasers. And not everybody can make that throw. You could wait a little bit and let them kind of get down the field.
Right, so that was something I always say, and it's sometimes you have to put it up,
Sure.
but most of the times I used to try to line everything in.
Yeah.
And especially like inside the 10-yard line going in. I see guys and kids throwing fades way up in the air, and really you shouldn't.
Field Clayton is there. He's got it for a touchdown.
Or you could fake spike it.
You can fake it, yes.
I believe Marino is saying I'm going to spike it.
Marino takes the snap from center. He's looking. He throws. Touchdown, Dolphins, Mark Ingram.
The Jets are dumbfounded.
That was unbelievable.
I love it.
I give Bernie Kosar all the credit because he brought it from Cleveland.
Is that right?
And he came to us, and we were there for a couple years, and he talked about it, and we practiced it, and it never came up for a whole year. And then against the Jets, it was like the perfect timing for it. We just did it.
Yes, yes. I know you like that call.
I mean, you've influenced so many other quarterbacks trying to do the fake spike. I did it one time. We played the Saints. I kind of faked it.
Oh, I remember it.
The Colts have to line up and kill the clock. They may never get it off. 2, 1. They will not get it off. The half ends, and Peyton still got the football. He is up now. He's running with the ball. He's going to run it in. Touchdown if it counts. He did not ground the football. He did not down it. That's got to be a touchdown. Let's see what they do.
And the ref was so confused that instead of giving us a touchdown or saying the half was over, he just kind of gave us a do-over. Like in recess, you go,
right.
Hey, we're going to have a do-over.
A whistle was blown when the quarterback fakes spiking the ball to the ground.
Inadvertent whistle.
Therefore, there's 1 second remaining on the clock.
Oh, he called it an inadvertent whistle
1 second
and
remaining
ruined
on
the play.
And he let us kick a field goal, and we got it, but it was influenced by you and your fake spike against the Jets.
You know what? I seen that play, and that was some outstanding acting.
He did not down the ball. He faked the spike.
You're pointing at the clock, and you're pointing at the clock, and then you start walking away like you're, bummed out.
I remember the ref
The
ref was like, you should have told me before the game you were going to do that. I'm like, yeah, hey ref, if there's 1 second on the clock, I'm going to fake spike it. I'm going to run at you and act like
that's
one
what
time.
you're thinking about.
Yeah, come on.
Dan's hot hand led the Dolphins all the way to the Super Bowl in 1984, the same year he broke the passing record for yards and touchdowns.
Dan Marino now has just broken Dan Fouts' all-time record for a single season.
20 years later, we were on this chase to break your record.
Peyton Manning is tied with Dan Marino.
It was special for me because it was your record.
I know that.
Snap is to Peyton. Protection stays in. He throws. There's no big touchdown. That's the record breaker.
Number 49, and Dan Marino can take a step back.
The record they thought would never be broken has been broken.
And you were in the studio, and we got to do an interview after the game. That was very special.
That was special.
Hey, Peyton, how you doing?
Hey, Dan, how you doing,
I bet you're feeling pretty good right now. Listen, congratulations on a great win, and congratulations on the record. I held that record for 20 years. It's something that I'm sure in years to come you'll be very proud of.
Hey, Dan, I really appreciate it, man. You're my hero, man, so I really appreciate it.